if you're moving to Merced County and have a child, there's a good chance you're probably looking into the school districts. So I've done the research for you and I've compiled a list of the top rated public schools in Merced County. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Alex, your Turlock real estate agent. If this is your first time, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first one updated about the Central Valley real estate market. So today we're going over some of the top public schools in Merced County, and all of these ratings come from niche.com. So if you do have a child and are looking into different schools, I highly recommend checking out this website because they go over parent reviews, different test scores, how big this school is, student to teacher ratio. There's a whole lot of factors. So it could be super helpful, especially if you're not from the area. So none of these are my opinion. They come directly from niche.com. And let me just say, some of them actually kind of surprised me. So let's just get straight into it. Now I'm going to start with elementary school and work our way up, but you'll notice I'm actually not going to go over middle schools because the rankings for the middle schools were all the same for the elementary schools. So that all of these elementary schools I'm about to list, these top 3, are K through 8th, so it encompasses middle school as well. So if you are looking into middle schools, do a little bit more research on those, but we'll start with elementary first. So coming in at the 3rd top rated public elementary school in Merced County is Snelling-Merced Falls Elementary School. That one is kind of a mouthful, but it has really good ratings. It's a lot smaller school as well too. So it's located in Snelling, which if you're not familiar with the area is kind of on the outskirts. You're not along that main 99 freeway. It's definitely smaller towns, a lot of farmland and empty land out there. So of course it's going to be a smaller school, but that could be a great thing for your child because that means more one-on-one time with the teacher. So this school has about 56 students according to niche.com, which that's like no students at all. That's so small. So it means that the student teacher ratio is only 11-1, which again can be really great with that one-on-one time with the teacher, making sure that your child is understanding all of the curriculum. Now, according to niche.com, it's given an overall rating of B+. And like I mentioned, this is a kindergarten through 8th grade school, so it does encompass middle school as well too. So the teachers, staffs, parents, they all work hand in hand, and according to their website and some of the reviews, a lot of parental involvement and a lot of just co-collaboration and communication, which is great, just gives an overall better experience for the student as well too. And the goal here is to nurture each student's individual strengths. So being able that they have less students per teacher, they can really focus on each individual child, going over exactly what it is that they may need as well too. And according to their website, they emphasize professional ethics and personal growth, which is always a great thing. And they're really known for its friendly atmosphere, kind of small town vibe where everyone knows everyone. Now, the 2nd top rated elementary school in Merced County is located in Merced, and it's McSwain Elementary School. Now, if you're looking on a map though, it technically is a Merced address, but it's super close to Atwater because there is the McSwain community where they have absolutely gorgeous houses, and that's considered an Atwater location. So I think you might be able to send your child there even if you are living in Atwater in that McSwain area. It makes the most sense to me, but we'll look into this Merced school first. So according to niche.com, it's given an overall rating of B+, and it has around 939 students there with a student teacher ratio of 22-1. So for every 22 students, there's about 1 teacher, which really isn't that bad. Pretty standard that we see around here in the Central Valley, maybe a little bit on the lower side. So that does help as well too. Now, the district's motto is growing leaders one child at a time. So they really emphasize making your child prepared enough, not only to go into middle school and high school, well, this is a middle school as well too, but to also be prepared for life, going into college, whatever route that their life takes them. So one thing I do really like about this school in particular, because I know for all of you parents out there, it may be a little concerning when you hear that all these schools are kindergarten through 8th grade, because there's a lot of differences between a 5-year-old kindergartner and a 13-year-old 8th grader. So the good thing about this school is there's actually 2 campuses. They're right across from each other. It's all in the same area. However, they have the different grade levels split. So the West Campus has TK through 3rd grade, and then the West Campus has 4th through 8th grade. So it's nice knowing that there is some separation just because older kids versus younger kids, there's a lot of differences here. I don't think I need to go into that much more. But something else about this elementary school is they do offer quite a wide range of programs that go beyond the classroom. So they have different athletics, arts, community service opportunities. And then a lot of parents have actually mention the teachers being great mentors and guides for their children, not just educators. And that's always something you want to hear when sending your child to school. And the top-rated elementary school in all of Merced County is actually a combination of two schools. It's the Ballico-Cressey Elementary School District. Technically, the Cressey School ranked highest, but how this works is Cressey School Elementary School, which is located in Cressey, which is a very, very small town, only has, I don't think there's even 300 people there. It's 200 and something people, but it only is kindergarten there. So only kindergartners are there, which is why I explained there's only 55 students in total. And then they go on to 1st through 8th grade at Ballico, which again, very, very small town right next to Cressey. So whichever town you're at, you're going to be in that specific school district. And again, I think the ratings are so high just because you have such a small student population here in these really small towns, giving just a much more personalized experience for the student since they have so much more one-on-one time with the teacher. And I know I've clearly said this over and over again, but it really makes a big difference. And I think that's why these smaller schools, even though they're further out of town, not as many parents involved, just because it's smaller, why they're so great. But since it's kindergarten only, they will move up to Ballico eventually, which wasn't ranked quite as high as the Cressey, but the overall Ballico-Cressey School District was ranked number 1. So it's known for its very tight-knit, personalized learning. Again, very small town where everyone knows everyone. And a lot of parent comments have been that every child seems very truly seen and supported here. So again, great thing to hear when you are sending your kid off to school. And I think just one final note about the Cressey School in particular, since it is kindergarten only, we don't see that as often here, but I think that gives a really great stepping stone for your child in kindergarten to start learning and start understanding how to be in a school classroom environment before moving on with all the other kids in Ballico. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I'm not going to go over middle schools because all of the elementary schools that have the same rankings as middle schools are kindergarten through 8th grade, which encompasses elementary and middle. So I'm going to go directly to high school just because I don't want to repeat myself over and over again. You already heard about all those schools. So the third top-rated high school in Merced County is Hilmar High School. According to niche.com, it's given an overall rating of B+, has around 700 students there, 9th through 12th grade, and has a student-to-teacher ratio of around 19:1. So really good ratio for that as well, too. Sometimes we see in high schools the ratio is getting a little bit higher, but that's a fairly low ratio, probably because it is a smaller town, smaller school, not super big graduating classes there. Now, this is, of course, obviously part of Hilmar Unified School District, and this school is actually a little bit older. It's over 100 years old and was originally founded in 1911 under the name Hilmar Colony Union High. They probably got changed that because that was a mouthful compared to just Hilmar High School, but Hilmar is located, it's right on Lander when you pass, so it's a very main road, and not only is there Hilmar High School right there, but the elementary and middle school are literally all right next door. So it's very convenient if you have children of different ages, not having to drive all the way around town to drop them off at school. It's all just kind of one location. Now, if you are familiar with Central Valley, Hilmar is one of those smaller towns that is very agriculturally based. Lots of dairies, lots of farmland, lots of almonds, just anything you can think of farm related, it's here in Hilmar. And that's very reflected in the programs offered at Hilmar High School. So FFA, which is the Future Farmers of America, is highly emphasized here. I will say it's emphasized at all of these Central Valley schools in Merced County, Stanislaus County of the surrounding area. But some of these smaller schools where a lot of the students come from families with background in farming really emphasize this more. But besides of FFA, of course, they have other clubs and student organizations, lots of athletics and ways for kids to get involved. But that's just one of the heavy things you'll learn about researching, and many of the students are very familiar with agriculture. Now, the second top-rated high school in Merced County is Independence High, which is located in Merced as well too. So Independence High, you may be a little confused when researching it because it does share the same location as Yosemite High School. So if you look it up on Google Maps, it'll show it as Yosemite Independence High School. And this Independence High in particular that we're looking at is smaller. It's kind of like an offshoot alternative school to Yosemite High. So it has a B+ rating on niche.com. It only has about 92 students. So this ratio is going to shock you. It's a student-to-teacher ratio of only about 7:1. So that's absolutely huge. I personally don't know a lot about the differences with Yosemite versus Independence High. I know that Independence is ranked much higher, and that because it's smaller, it's some type of specialized programs for much less students. But kind of interesting. So definitely look into it if you are in that area. And the school really does focus on trying to promote individuality, provide the best possible education that's very tailored for each specific student, which we can see with having only 7 students per 1 teacher. They're definitely getting that individualized support that they need. So very academic approach. They also offer CTE pathways, which if you're not familiar, it's career technical education. So they include, ag welding, media arts, energy and power technology, cosmetology, just different career paths to help your child understand where they want to go after high school. If university is a good option for them, maybe a trade school, maybe something else altogether. So this is a good way for them to learn what they maybe like or really don't like. So they also can get industry certified and different certifications, which is really neat too. So through the school, they can get first aid, CPR training, learn about OSHA safety. I even read about potentially like drone operation skills here. So this is very individualized. And I think this gives them a really great chance to learn and explore what they may want to do before leaving high school. Now, the very top-rated high school in all of Merced County is El Capitan High School in Merced. This did not surprise me in any way. I actually guessed that this would be the #1 high school. I didn't go to school there, but I used to play against that high school in school sports when I went to high school. And every time I went to that campus, I was just like, wow, it's really nice for a high school. It's on the outskirts of Merced, and it was actually only just barely built in 2013. So it's one of the newest schools in all of Merced County. So it does have a lot more upgraded and really nice, just different facilities, just new technology, newer equipment. Overall, just a very, very nice school. This school is much bigger than the other high schools that we've seen though. It does serve around 1,800 students, 9th through 12th grade, with around 21 students per 1 teacher. So pretty common ratio that we're seeing here. That 7-to-1 ratio we saw at Independence High, not common at all, but 21-to-1, fairly common. That's a pretty good ratio in my opinion. So not only is it the #1 high school in all of Merced County, but out of all of California, it's actually ranked 1,001. 1,001. So that sounds pretty low, being the 1,000th best high school in all of California. But when you take into consideration how many high schools there are here, that's actually very, very impressive. So they also, similar to the last school, do offer CTE pathways, career technical education, where you can learn about healthcare, global leadership, different languages, computer science. There's a lot of different options here. Of course, they have a lot of athletics. Their cheer squad has actually been 4 times national champions, which is so amazing. Kind of random. I was so surprised when I read that, but really, really cool as well too. So they're clearly investing in their students, promoting them in athletics and education-wise as well too. And they have about a 98% graduation rate. So really good rates there. Their website advocates saying that they work on character development, leadership, and college and career readiness are their main focuses. So overall, really, really great school. Definitely kind of on the outskirts there. But if you want to be in that school district, just let me know and we can find you a house that's near there. Well, there you have some of the top public schools in Merced County. I do want you to keep in mind, these are some of the top rated ones, but there's so many other amazing schools here in Merced County as well too. So even if your child's not going to this one, that doesn't mean that the one they're going to isn't great. So if you do want to move to Merced County and want to be in a specific school district, feel free to reach out to me through text or call or even email. And I'd be happy to sit down with you and go over the different districts, what we can do to qualify to be in those areas as well too, or even how you can do maybe an intra-district transfer. Till next time, hope you reach out to me and I'll show you around the valley.